Airport 5. 3 Romeo Delta, taxi into position and hold behind the pickup. It's going northbound. Leave room for ECA to get on the runway behind you. Roger. 444 Quebec's rolling north, just past the interstate. Number 3,
All right. Hey everybody, I'm francapitanelli. And we got some fun stuff today. We're going to listen to the tracks from A Whole Lotta Love, the guitar tracks. And we'll do the bass and the vocals and the drums real soon. So there's 8 tracks recorded at Olympic Studios on an 8-track machine. Because at Olympic, according to Page, the big room had the 8-track machine and the little room, tracking room, had the 16-track machine. And Page wanted that big room for the obvious reasons, for the sound of the drums and everything else. We've got 8 tracks to deal with, and 2 of them are guitar tracks. Amazing that this song, as much of a masterpiece as it is in how many guitars there are in it, or different guitar sections, there's only 2 tracks. So we're gonna make our way through the first track, and I'm gonna be stopping it. I'm gonna stop and talk, and then we'll do the second guitar after that. What do you say? I'm trying to get over the hump of 1,000 subscribers, and we're almost there. Jump aboard, help get me over the hump. Without any further ado, Whole Lotta Love, guitar tracks. So let's just kick it in. So I'm hearing something on the guitar part that I had never heard before. And it's this little harmonic. We all know that Page plays it in this special way where he bends these 2 strings. But you can hear this little harmonic that he's hitting by accident or on purpose, but he does it every time. So I want you to listen for that harmonic. It's in everything. So we can hear now that there's bleed coming through the microphone of the drums and the bass. So we know they're tracking all at the same time, right? So they're all in this room at Olympic Studios cutting the song together. We're already to the theremin part. You know the old saying, don't bore us, get us to the chorus? Man, they get to the chorus like right away. They get to the second chorus in no time. So we're gonna hook up this theremin and do a little demonstration right quick. So the theremin is its own instrument. It's not, you're not running the guitar through it. And so it goes through the amp, and it's a very sensitive creature. Let's see where we're at. Got some noise. Whoa! All right, well, we're gonna have to deal with the noise. I told you it was sensitive. So you see, Zeppelin. So we got a knob. We've got a knob on the side here that you can oscillate with. If if you can get it to where it's quiet for a second, then you can do these little tiny theremin jabs. Add some echo to it, and you got some great stuff, baby. Let me tell you. All right, let's get back to the song. That's like some Friday the 13th shit right there. Air raid siren. He's kind of toying with us. He knows just what we need when we need it, right? So it starts out with these little, and then he gives it all, woo! So the song's about to kick in, and they're all playing at the same time, so there's got to be a lot of eye contact. It's going to come back in on this E chord, and it sounds so heavy when it comes back in. You would think that he's just chugging away, hitting this low E as hard as he can, but he's really kind of understating it and just hitting, all right, so here's your E chord. He's hitting mostly those strings right there. And he's letting the bass, because the bass is hitting two E's, an octave of each other, but Page is leaving room for the bass to really pound your face in along with the kick drum. Without these other instruments in there, it kind of sounds like a rockabilly guitar part. So you can hear there's a different vocal take here. So he recorded the vocal. He recorded the vocal with the band, but then he goes and he does the vocal back over. So this is the bleed from the original date, the original vocal. Let me see if I can blow it up here. They're about to kick back in, and there's no fill to lead them in, so they're going to be relying on eye contact to do this. Bam, bam. Like in the Royal Albert Hall show, they do a fill, bam, bam, something like that. So right there, you can hear there's a punch in, right? So they got this original track from the original date, this guitar track, and they're gonna go put an overdub on it, but they gotta use the same tracks. So you can hear the bleed switch from the room mic to headphones. Did you catch that? That's switching from room. Here it is again. Yes. So when it comes back in, there's this guitar variation. Oh God. I'm not as graceful as Jimmy Page. What do you want? You know? Of course, on the song remains the same version. There's that. So everyone's all excited, and the song's picking up steam. And as they kick back in, the tempo starts to raise a little bit, and you hear Page have to adjust because Bonzo's speed up a little bit. Faster than the beginning of the song. In the version that we're all familiar with from the album, it fades out. But originally they try and do an ending where they all crescendo and bam, bash. They all end at the same time, and then there's a little theremin, extra theremin stuff that comes in at the end that's left over from the overdub track. Yeah, stuff like that. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's get into guitar track 2 so you can hear the bleed from the headphones. So we know now, you know, this is an overdub. They're not recording. They're not all playing at the same time. So this is a little bit of a weird thing with this slide part. Slide part is following a whole lot of love. But we know on the regular version, the version we're used to, the slide part follows the word love. So I want a whole lot of love. I want a whole lot of love. So here's what it is. You're sending the signal of the guitar through the chord into an effect. The effect is creating the effect and sending it out through the amp or through whatever speakers. So normally you would hear what you're actually playing on the guitar and what the effect is producing. And they're just taking out the playing of the guitar part, and you're just hearing the effect. You know, it's like boom, delay. We're just hearing the delay. Meow. Just a little bit ahead. So right there, we just heard it switch. Right there, we just heard it switch from the slide track to another feedback track. In an interview I read with Page, He says he slacks the strings on the guitar, so they're kind of, they're really loose, and they have that. Bleh. So this is going to be like a feedback track, a la Jimi Hendrix, if I may, with the Bigsby on his Black Beauty. I mean, you can clearly hear the notes being tremoloed. And the only guitar I can think of that he has at this time with a tremolo is that black Les Paul, the Black Beauty. It's not the theremin, because the theremin, you don't hear guitar strings, you just hear woo! That's why when you see him playing the theremin, he's got the guitar strapped behind him, and he's just doing the karate chops at the theremin, because he's not playing the guitar right then, he's playing another instrument. The guitar strings are being slacked and whammy barred with feedback. Check it out. So we don't hear this guitar in the final mix, but they mess with it in the same way as they did the slide guitar, where it's drenched in effects, and then they do all the panning in the final mix. The final mix is like a performance in and of itself. So they get it all set up, they put the effects that they want on everything, but then as you're mixing the song to a 1/4-inch reel, you're having to do all the fader moves and panning right there. It's not like today's recording studio consoles where you can automate it to do everything that you want it to do when it does it. So this is just all part of that air raid segment of the song where they're panning stuff. There's some bleed of the theremin from the other track. So now they take the signal of this feedback guitar and they wash it in delay and reverb, and they create the crescendo that is before the solo starts, whereas all it's kind of building up and woo, 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 panning back and forth. He's using a tone bender and a little teeny bit of wah that is not being moved back and forth. It's just cocked in a certain place and giving it that nasally, extra nasal tone. Beautiful. So when you're doing a guitar overdub and you're in the room with the amp, it's really loud and you've got headphones on. But once you have them on, then you can't hear the amp. So sometimes you cock the ear so you can hear the natural sound of the amp. And that's what we're about to hear in this next clip, where he's kind of pulling the headphones off so you hear it get like kind of muffled, and then it opens up a little bit. That's why. He's just waiting. Here it comes. So that time he left off to bum 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 ba bam. So I try to jack up the vocal here as loud as possible so you can hear the one that Robert cut on the original date. And they sound really similar. I mean, his voice is just at its peak right now. We're gonna get to Robert's vocal on another day. And here's some more feedback that they end up not using in the song. And that's it. There's there's your guitar tracks from Whole Lotta Love. My name is francapitanelli, totally into the sound, and I need your support by way of subscription. Subscribe to my channel, if you will. I'm so close, ever so close to 1,000 subscribers. I just want to get over the hump. So if you're into this video and you're not already subscribed, let's do it, baby. That's all for now. We'll see you next time.
Your departure, be checking runway out.
You are 01 uniform on 26 right.